Okay, hello, my name is AHMAD HANIF ZULKIFLI and I will lead my group presentation that we will talk about an underrated tourism places in Malaysia. So here we go. As we already know, we have a lot of tourist attractions in Malaysia. It also comes with a lot of variety ranging from humongous skyscraper like Petronas Twin Tower to beautiful beaches like in Tioman Island and so much more. However, there are some places that have been overlooked by a lot of Malaysian, especially if the place is inconspicuous, like especially if it is located in a rural area. People usually do not know what the area might have in store for them. They mistakenly conclude that if the place has low visitor, then that place must be uneventful. But this is far from the truth. So we would like to share one of the severely underrated place in Negeri Sembilan that have a huge potential on become an unrivaled tourist attraction in Malaysia. Okay, the place that we would like to share is a wonderful place known as Kuala Pilah. When we make a research about this place, we discover just how great it is and wonder how can this place be so underrated. Usually, when people come to Negeri Sembilan, they were only familiar with Seremban and so on. But seriously, Kuala Pilah has to be one of the best places to visit in Negeri Sembilan.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Daniel. Now we have come to the places of interest in Kuala Pilah, one of the main reasons that makes Kuala Pilah attractive and tourism worthy. The first one is its marvelous high grounds. There are many hiking spots in this area ranging from easy to challenging, so it is suitable for all types of people. Three of the most popular hiking spots are Gunung Angsi, Gunung Telapak Buruk, and Bukit Senaling. All of these three spots are their own attraction. Gunung Angsi dares people who want to test themselves, while Gunung Telapak Buruk offers a refreshing journey with beautiful waterfalls and cool rivers that you can chill and enjoy along the way. On the other hand, Bukit Senaling awards their visitors with a show of a magnificent cloud blanket at the top, which is the main attraction of the spot. The second attraction in Kuala Pilah is definitely its welcoming nature experience. For those who want to enjoy a piece of nature without having to hike your way up, Hutan Lipo Jeram Toi is the best choice for you. This spot has gathered a large number of visitors every year because of its strategic location, which is near to Seremban, the capital city of Negeri Sembilan. Plus, the seven-floored waterfall made it become the main ecotourism attraction in this area. Next up is the richness of history and culture of the place. Negeri Sembilan is famous by having their own culture and tradition, influenced by the Minangkabaus originated from Indonesia. In Kuala Pilah, tourists can experience what's left of the traditions and the influence of past kings and rulers of the state in its royal city of Negeri Sembilan, named Seri Menanti. Here, you can find museums, mausoleums, and historical buildings which are greatly preserved to ensure tourists from this generation until next generation can still be knowledgeable about the history of Negeri Sembilan by visiting this place.
So the fourth, we have house architecture, scenery and atmosphere. Negeri Sembilan is rich with culture, heritage and customs that have existed centuries ago and are still being practiced today, such as Adat Pepatih, which was introduced by Minangkabau tribe way back in 1066, nearly 1,000 years ago. This is not an exception with Kuala Pilah. The traces and evidence of the historical and rich culture of Minangkabau can be seen here as distinctively unique rumah gadang that can be seen being prominent in this area. So the Minangkabau traditionally embellish the wooden walls, pillars, and ceiling of the rumah gadang with bas relief carved wooden motifs that reflect and symbolize their culture. The motif consists of profuse floral designs based on a simple underlying geometric structures. The tourists also can marvel at this glorious artistic piece of historical architecture while strolling around Kuala Pilah and breathe the refreshing air in the calming atmosphere of the rural area.
Now, I will explain the problems that are faced by the public sector in developing Kuala Pilah. There are two main problems, which are preserving the cultural value and preserving the natural environment in Kuala Pilah. Let us start by discussing preserving the cultural value in Kuala Pilah. Kuala Pilah cultural richness is one of the main factors in choosing it as a place to develop for tourist attraction. The promise of a new cultural experience and also cultural appreciation is sure to attract tourists near and far. But since the culture is its selling point, the preservation of it is truly crucial. And the irony is, one of the problems that may jeopardize Kuala Pilah's culture is the interaction between the tourists and the locals itself. Let me explain. There is a phenomenon that happens when an individual comes into contact with another culture. This phenomenon is called acculturation. It is defined in Merriam-Webster dictionary as cultural modification of an individual, group, or people by adapting to or borrowing traits from another culture. For example, people in Kuala Pilah might change the way they dress after observing tourist fashion style. This is even more worrying when we consider acculturation's impact on the younger generation, since they are more inclined to adopt different cultures because they have the tendency to value self-expression, wanting a sense of belonging, and wanting to explore and make sense of the world more so than their older counterpart. If the younger generation start to adopt and even value other cultures so much more than their own culture, the preservation of the culture will be in jeopardy and cultural elements might lose their authenticity. Therefore, the public sector faces the tough balancing act in propagating the cultural practices while simultaneously preserving the culturally rich Kuala Pilah. Now, we move on to the next problem, which is preserving the nature in Kuala Pilah. The hilly terrains and large forest reserve that is rich in natural resources of flora and fauna provides Kuala Pilah with a simply breathtaking scenery. Not only that, these natural environments also provide protection from extreme weather conditions and natural disasters like flood and storm, and making this place an attractive spot for tourism development. But to develop the location, the public sector needs to take into consideration the amount of development and its impact on the environment. Firstly, to accommodate more tourists in the area, it is imperative to ensure that the infrastructure is up to par. Unfortunately, in order to build any infrastructure, some plot of land needs to be cleared out. Furthermore, in the process of building the infrastructure, environmental degradation are bound to occur, such things as noise, water and air pollution, soil erosion, and destruction of natural habitat of flora and fauna, which will affect the tourism activities in the area. Upon completion of the infrastructure, tourists are expected to come, and the transportation emissions will increase the greenhouse gases in the area. And the tourist detrimental behavior like smoking and littering will negatively affect the environment in Kuala Pilah. All of these factors might jeopardize the natural attractions in Kuala Pilah that, if left unchecked, might instead cause lower tourism activities as one of its main appeal has been compromised. Thus, the public sector need to find the middle ground in developing the destination and preserving nature in Kuala Pilah. With that said, I will pass the baton to the next presenter. Thank you.
So, My name is Muhammad IKMAL bin Abdul RASHID, so I'm going to continue this presentation with appropriate development strategies. So for the first part, first point that I'm going to put is the public sector lacking in promoting Kuala Pilah in marketing strategies. For example, why don't they go all in with online ads? Digital advertising is replacing offline and mass media advertising. And why is that? Digital ads are cheaper, more targeted. We know who are we targeting, and it's easier to track their ROI, which is return on investment. So in ads, we need to highlight few big points in the advertisement, like the place and the thing that the people should go in Kuala Pilah. Okay. Secondly, we need to focus on branding. Almost all companies use branding to make their services or products easily distinguishable from those other competitors. I mean, like your logo, overall image, color, scheme, and messaging are all examples of branding. And the key objective is to illustrate the most distinguishing characteristic of your target country so that it can be easily identified and distinguished from others. This one can easily apply to the right techniques to a destination. By example, post a photo of the hotspot with tagline that describes the exact location and why it is such a wonderful place to visit. Or we can use promotional message to familiarize people with the region by creating a hashtag for your followers to use on Instagram. That's an example. We have to focus on branding in what are we promoting and what are the strategies is the focus on branding. For the next part, the third one is strategies is put the big hotel under the Ministry of Tourism at Kuala Pilah, such as Grand Continental, Stream Malaysia, or if we can go with the big company as like Pavilion or Grand Lexus and all, which is local hotel but luxury. Alright, this is because tourists who already knew this hotel would know that this kind of hotel only have at good and exciting place, which means that when people see that hotel, people will know, oh, this place should be good, this place should be exciting. So that's give Kuala Pilah a free marketing or promotion with those hotel existence. This big hotel have a personality that connects to both existing and prospective guests. It's a vital ingredient for travelers who are looking for a unique travel experience. Obviously, this personality must be conveyed via the staff and the property itself. So every hotel room and human interaction should reflect what the brand represents. If having this hotel, it will be a big push for tourism sector in Kuala Pilah and a good marketing strategies for Kuala Pilah. So that's all from me. From the next point and the conclusion, my friend will continue. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm FAIZ ZAIDAN. So I would like to present about the appropriate development strategies with the point number 4. So the point number 4 is the public sector should personalize the experience for the target visions. So they should be familiar with the destinations and knows the best aspect of the destination that can attract the tourists. So whether it's a photograph, historics, landmarks, or health, can fitness, and there's always something for everyone's. So the personalization is the second of the most important factors here. So they can tailor the propositions to the best market once they have the identified. So otherwise, the risk being overlooked in a sea of online noise. So that isn't to say it is the okay to ignore the rest of the work. Public sector can use the detailed segmentation to wise to limit themselves to 2 until 3 target market. So this is important because by limiting their aspect, the scope, it is easier to make a decisions regarding offers, messagings, and brandings, which would help in making wise decision for the destination. So we'll go to the last part, which is the conclusion. So for the conclusion, the Kuala Pilah is a very wonderful destination that holds the tremendous potential for the tourist growth from its beautiful nature and deep cultural heritage to its inviolable amount of the attractions. Tourists are sure to have a great time in Kuala Pilah. With enough dedication and development, who knows that one day this place will be just a great tourist destination as its neighboring district Seremban and Port Dickson. Thus, let's visit the Kuala Pilah today and allow yourself to bask in the wonders, culture and nature there. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.